Happy Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pressing Matters. This is episode number 37. I am your host, Daniel Torres. Thank you for joining us here on the Plug Talk Sports Network, and we appreciate every single one of you. It was a great show Monday night in the Plug Talk Sports live show. We got plug picks tomorrow night with Jonka Don't Stop. And we heavily appreciate every single one of you that tune in and week out to all of our shows here on the Plug Talk Sports Network. And I just want to tell you guys, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, our TikTok, X, and our Instagram. So catch up with all the good content that we got on there. And again, we thank you. And now let's get into Pressing Matters episode number 37. And the first thing that we are going to talk about today is the third place. Now, this is going to be the final episode of content talking about the 2026 FIFA World Cup. As you guys know, the tournament has concluded. It concluded this past Sunday. And so this will be our last episode talking about the World Cup before we head back into club in the Major League Soccer, who's still ongoing now the season. Inter Miami winning last night 3-2 against the Chicago Fire here at New Stadium, with Robert Lewandowski debuting for the Fire. And it was no Messi, no problem for Inter Miami. And they were able to come away with the victory, I believe, making it 6 consecutive victories or 5 consecutive victories. Obviously, the winning streak dates back to right before they went to the World Cup break. But again, preseason also starting to ramp up for European clubs as that season is fast approaching. So that's something to look forward to here on Pressing Matters. The rest of MLS and then the start of a brand new season in Europe. But for today, last two things about the 2026 FIFA World Cup here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. We start with the third place game, France and England. Well, I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen, because last week I sat here and I told you all that I thought that France was going to come out victorious. Just because I think it would have meant a lot more to France than it did for England. Because people will say, oh, well, as I stated last episode, oh, well, England lost to Argentina, the defending world champions. So obviously you don't want to lose, but hey, if there's an excuse for losing, you lost at defending world champions, I guess that's sort of more acceptable. France, on the other hand, who was a favorite to win this whole thing, was completely annihilated and dominated by Spain. Yes, some of you will say, oh, it was only 2-0, Daniel. Yes, but you need to watch the match. If you didn't watch this tournament at all, just go back and watch highlights of how France was playing, and go watch highlights of Spain, and then go watch the highlight between France and Spain, and you let me know what you think. It was domination, and we'll get into the final in a couple minutes, but complete domination from the Spaniards. They had a game plan. They played it tactically and beautifully, but coming into this third place game, it gave you the assumption that France had more to play for. Now, let's get into the actual game. It was right here in South Florida at Miami, Hard Rock Stadium. It was scorching hot with humidity. It was very, very hot. And then also, again, yes, granted everything I just said, it's still a third place game at the end of the day. I don't know about you guys, but for me, yes, you wanna finish the tournament on a high note and still try to finish third place and give that pride to your country. But I think after the way both of these teams lost, England with the way they lost to Argentina, having taken the lead by Anthony Gordon, and then Thomas Tuchel just gets the whole thing messed up and says, well, we're just going to sit back and defend for the rest of the game and not do anything. Yeah, that was not a right strategy there. And they choked that one away. They should have made the final, but they choked that one away again. And then France. Obviously, again, favorites. What is the motivation, coming into this third place game, especially with the way that you just lost? Both of these teams lost. You got to sit there and be like, I don't feel like going out there and playing this game. Well, the first half definitely looked like that from France. This game opened up right from the get-go. It looked like a match of pickleball or tennis. It was a back and forth. Honestly, almost a tale of two halves. And when I sat there and just started seeing the way France was playing, with its starters, by the way, because England did not play its star players. Kane was on the bench. Jude Bellingham was on the bench. Obviously, those are the two most influential players on the England squad. They struggled. They looked like they didn't want to be out there. They looked like they didn't care about this game. They didn't look motivated. They were letting England run right up to the goal. 4 first-half goals from England. You know what that is? 4 first-half goals? And you're at 4-0? I mean, there's no other way to explain it that you were not trying. I like England. I like their squad a lot. I'm a big Jude Bellingham guy. But talent-wise, I think that France was more talented. And obviously we can sit here and say, well, yes, on paper, they're more talented. But at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. France was more talented than Spain. And look what happened. And so I don't know how you come into this third place game, especially with Didier Deschamps, this being his last, dance, shall we say, before Zinedine Zidane becomes the new head coach of France. How are you going to give him this last performance? Like, how are you going to send him off performing the way that you guys did? Mbappe was doing everything that he could to keep this team afloat in this game, which, by the way, 4-0 for England. Halftime comes out the gate, second half. France gets 2 goals, both from Kylian Mbappe. It's 4-2. He has now surpassed, by the way, Lionel Messi for the all-time goal scorer historically at the FIFA World Cup. And as well, he went ahead for the top goal scorer at this FIFA World Cup. So he got the 2 goals that he needed. And then France scores again, 4-3. And you start to think to yourself at this moment, there's no way in hell England just went up 4-0 in one half. And now they're about to blow the lead away. They're about to choke this away. There's absolutely no way. But if there's anyone that would do that, it would be England. But England, Thomas Tuchel makes his subs. In comes Bellingham. In comes Harry Kane. And that was the end of that. Jude Bellingham was literally walking right up to the goal. Right up to the goal. And he ended up getting his goal. England would go ahead and win this game by a score of 6-4. The goals for England coming from Declan Rice in the 3rd minute, Ezri Konsa in the 18th minute, Bukayo Saka with a hat trick in the 37th, 45th +1, and a penalty in the 87th, which hats off to Jude Bellingham because he drew the penalty and he handed the ball to Saka to complete the hat trick. So major props there to Bellingham. Ultimate team player. I always tell people, if I have to pick a player, I'm picking Jude Bellingham 10 times on my team. The guy's just an absolute warrior, a workhorse. Just puts so much effort for the shirt that he has on, whether it's Real Madrid or England. And then obviously Jude Bellingham in the 90th +8. Those were the 6 goals from England. Talk about France. I told you guys Kylian Mbappe, 48th and 66th minute. Bradley Barcola in the 54th. And then the 90th +6 is Ousmane Dembélé. And for the first time since 1966, England has the best result and finish at a FIFA World Cup. So, congratulations to England. I think you guys deserved it. Would have loved to see you in the final, but you guys definitely deserved this 3rd place spot. For France, you guys had a chance to make history, to be able to go to 3 straight World Cup finals. You got dominated by Spain. All right, happens. Then against England, it was too late to mount a comeback after that disastrous first half where you, quite frankly, looked like you didn't want to be there and you didn't want to play this match. So that's disappointing. Very disappointing from the French. And now we enter a new era with Zinedine Zidane as head coach of France. This French team is still loaded with talent. And I often tell the reason why France has been so good since 2018 is because they were so young when they won that World Cup. And they're still young. No disrespect to Didier Deschamps and everything he did with France, but now you get a coach like Zidane, who I have seen in my very own eyes the way he coached at Real Madrid. This is a football legend. This is a football genius. And that's not always that way. Because just because you were a football legend, a fantastic player, does not mean you're going to be a good coach. But I consider Zidane to be a good coach. I think that he is going to bring France back. And France will continue to be a threat and a danger under Zinedine Zidane. But for this tournament, a disappointing end for Kylian Mbappe, Désiré Doué, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembélé. A bitter and upsetting end to this campaign for France, even though they do finish 4th in this FIFA World Cup. The expectations were a lot higher and a lot better for this French team. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the final. Spain and Argentina. Spain, the last time they won, I was 12 years old. 2010, Johannesburg, South Africa, 1-0 extra time against the Netherlands. This World Cup win would be 16 years. This is the last time Spain won, but still a quicker turnaround to win a second tournament, second World Cup than for Argentina, who since the 80s had been waiting until they finally captured it in 2022. We all know Argentina. They entered this match because of grit, because of heart, because of effort. Nothing else. Their soccer did not impress me one bit throughout this tournament. And they would have been knocked out a lot earlier. Listen, credit to Cape Verde. I know Cape Verde showed us who they really were. They tied Spain 0-0 in the first match, even though I still tell people, remember, that Spain played the bench for 80 minutes, which still should have better talent on that bench to be able to win that game. But when you have a rout of Austria, Algeria, Jordan, Cape Verde, Egypt, hell, I think anyone would make the World Cup final. I think the only two real games that they played was England and Spain. And England, we know, had that game won. They choked it away with disastrous tactics. But what bothers me is this is a team sport. This is 11 men on the field. And the focus is always just one guy. I get it. Messi's one of the greatest. He's not the greatest to me, but he is one of the greatest for sure. And it's always just about him, not his team. And coming into this match, I think people were a little bit arrogant and said, oh, this match is over. Argentina's going to win. Messi's going to go back-to-back. It's over. Especially the Argentine fans who were chanting, we want Spain. Spain's easy. They're not going to give us any trouble. They felt that their real final was against England. Well, they obviously did not watch the match between Spain and France. There's things in this match that I don't understand why Luis Scaloni did them. How in the world do you not start Lautaro Martinez? There's a lot of conspiracy going on out there. There's people saying that Lautaro and Scaloni got into an argument. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of horse crap that people are saying that, oh, Argentina was told to lose this game. And that's why, some of the players looked like they were crying at halftime. And Messi told him, don't worry about it. Let's just go and play. No, folks. The matter of the fact is, and the truth is that Spain dominated Argentina. Many people thought that, oh, Argentina is going to have another Cinderella comeback. It didn't happen. You know why? Spain dominated the match. Say, oh, Daniel, it was only 1-0. Go and tell me and show me, for the first time in FIFA World Cup history, a team finished an entire half with 0 attempts on goal and 0 shots on goal. Goose egg. Nada. You know why? Because of the dominance of Spain. Nothing else. Yes, they may have beat themselves before they entered this field because of arguments and disagreements on tactics. I think that's what happened. I definitely think that there was an argument in that locker room. For sure. But you knew coming into this game, the way Spain played against France and the way Spain aged like fine wine as the tournament went on. It's not like they randomly just changed the way they play and then, wow, they just started playing like... No, this is Spain's identity. This is their philosophy. It's who they are. It's the way that they have always played. They're going to bring intensity when they lose the ball. They're going to get it back quick, and they're going to make sure for as long as possible that you don't touch the ball. Why do you think people say, oh, France played terribly? No, they had a game plan. Spain had a game plan. As long as we continue to dominate and control the game, anybody's star player is not going to have a chance. And that is a way that you eliminate the threat. They did the same thing to Mbappe, and they did the same thing to Messi. Messi, for God's sakes, was out there looking like he was just on a Peloton class, just doing cardio. Because he barely touched the ball. And also, I think where this game was really lost was boneheaded Enzo Fernandez. You're already on the yellow, brother. What are you doing at midfield going full force into Pau Cubarsí? And yes, I get it. You were trying to stop, but still, you're going such full force. You're not even, the ball was gone. You're not even close to the ball. And you flip this guy 5 stories in the air. You get another yellow card, equates to a red card, you're out. Boneheaded mistake. If you would have told me this happened right in front of goal and you need to save your team from going down the goal, go ahead, try it. That's fine. But you're at midfield, for God's sake. Nothing was going to come of that play. You need to be smarter, Enzo Fernandez. You need to be smarter there. You put your team down a man. It hurt them. It impacted them. Then, we know the tactics from Argentina. We all do. We know they're not a classy team. We know that they have no sportsmanship. We know that to try to throw their opponent off, they're going to try to mentally get in their head and try to play as physical as possible. Well, unfortunately for you guys, for Argentina, they faced a team that, one, their coach Luis de la Fuente told them, hey, Argentina's going to try to do this to you. Don't retaliate. 2, you face a team that is very, very, very well disciplined. It's like a well-oiled machine. Spain overall was just better on the day. Then we get to a goal from Nico Williams that they say it's no goal because Otamendi had a big toe stepped on. Which now they came out and said, oh, it should have been a goal. VAR didn't even look at it. And at that moment, I said, for God's sake, this might be robbed for real. Should have been a goal. Should have been a 1-0 right there. And we get some of the subs that Argentina is making absolute no sense. No sense. Scaloni, I don't know what he did in this final, but he was crap. Spain subs kind of worried me. Taking Rodri off, the master of the midfield. You take Mikel Oyarzabal off, the player who had scored the most for Spain in the tournament. That worried me a bit. And then you put in Ferran Torres, who have been getting so much criticism and hate for the last year, honestly, going back to his Barcelona days this past season. And I was like, oh, God, who's going to score? And as time went on in extra time, I started to think to myself, if this thing goes to penalties, it's anyone's game. The way Spain has been dominating, they cannot let this go to penalties. And now it's come out that Luis de la Fuente told Ferran Torres kind of the same thing and said, go and decide the final. Don't wait for penalties. Argentina's defeated already. They're waiting for the penalties. Go and win the final. And what did he do? In the first minute of the second half of extra time, he scores and he wins the final for Spain. Argentina came close in one opportunity. Came close, but could not do it. There was no Cinderella run this time, and deservedly so. Spain dominated. Spain won this game, and they deserved it. They're world champions for the second time in history. After 16 years, they deserved it. They won the Euros, and then they come here and they win the World Cup. And then we talk about what happened after the match. An utter disgrace. An utter disgrace. And folks, This is why a lot of people around the world wanted Argentina to lose. We saw a lot of people supporting Argentina in 2022, but the matter of the fact is the reason why they wanted them to lose in this final is because of disgraceful behavior that we've been seeing from Argentina and its fans throughout this tournament. And if you don't like it, I don't care. It's the truth. Spain's lifting the trophy. You got your backs turned towards them. You got Leandro Paredes, who is assaulting players after the match finished. It is a sore loser's mentality. I'll say it again. Sore loser. You need to learn how to win with respect and class and lose with respect and class. And that was not Argentina. And I'm not surprised one bit. In 2022, you won the World Cup. Everyone gave you your moment. Everyone let you celebrate and have your moment. Even ones that don't like you. They didn't go that low. Spain just won the World Cup. Let them have their moment. Instead, you wanted to start a brawl. And decide you wanted to fight people. You lost. You lost the game and you were dominated. That's what happened. And a sore loser's mentality. And you know what now? I got an interesting future ahead without Messi to try to rebuild. Maybe without Scaloni. And you have off the field issues to deal with. Investigations by the FBI, investigations by FIFA. Spain doesn't have to talk. They talked on the field. They don't need to talk. Argentina's going to deal with their crap now. And I'll show you this. I was 12 years old, as I mentioned. The last time I saw my heritage, my background. The last time I saw them win the World Cup in Johannesburg, South Africa. 12 years old, 2010. 16 years later, I'm 28. And I got to see them lift that trophy again. And this was my reaction right at that moment. I could not believe it. My sister got upset. Shout out to my sister. Said, "You didn't even cry at my wedding." I don't cry much, and I am an emotional person, and I don't cry much, but this was an emotional moment for me, and it was an amazing day. One that I will not forget, and I'm so grateful in my life to have watched 2 World Cup victories by Spain. And with that, we're going to take it to our Team of the Week. Folks, who else? Who else? Who else is going to be the Team of the Week? It's obviously Spain. World Cup champions. 2026. It didn't look good in the beginning. And at times I doubted. I thought, if this team continues playing this way, I don't think they're going to win. But as fine wine ages very well, so did Spain. And they showed the world why not just one player, but 11 men on the field, together, on the same page, no egos, all fighting for each other and for a nation and for a dream. Why that will always trump one person in a one-man team and will always come out on top as champions. And the way that they did it their way. They did it with class, with grace, with respect. And they're the world champions and the defending European champions. And that is why Spain is your Team of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of this week's Pressing Matters, episode number 37. I appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Daniel Torres. See you tomorrow night for Plug Picks. We hope that you have a great rest of your week. and God bless you.